What is going on, everyone? DJ's here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay analysis. Now, it's been a hot second since we've done a standard match. We've been looking at the Fog Goblin Gobble, we're looking at some other foggy stuff. We're done with the fogginess. We're going back to standard, we're going back to basics. So, some of you might know, but I've been focusing on fog recently, not just in my replay analysis, but also just in gameplay in general. I've been playing about like 5-6 fog games at a time while not really playing any standard matches, so recently I decided to get back into standard, even though I'm about 200 points worse in standard than I am in fog, just by virtue of me focusing on fog for so damn long. So this is part of my redemption tour right here. Queued up some games, got some hard-ass opponents. This is one of them, Evocoti. I also got matched up with Go7, I got matched up with some other hard-ass players, and it was not an easy welcome back into standard by any means. Standard players have continued to get stronger while I was just sitting around. Anyway, this match right here is on the map Aronia. I don't know, it's some like Middle-earth or some Narnia shit or something. I don't know what Aronia is, but this is the map Aronia. It seems like a pretty standard map. Standard map. You got your comm towers that look semi-contested, and then you got your mountains in the middle, and then you got your typical contested bases on the flanks and whatnot. So I saw this map, and I was like, you know what, this looks kind of stally with the mountains and whatnot. Let's go Hawk. I like Hawk. He's my favorite CO. What could go wrong with Hawk? Sasha's probably solid. Von Polt's solid. They're all solid. Javier, I was like, that's a little strange. I mean, this is kind of contested. Like, I mean, you'll get there, but I don't know about that. However, upon later inspecting, they actually are not very contested because they are within one turn of reinforcements to the airport and just 2 turns from this base here. So they look contested, but you're not going to deny your opponent's comm tower. You might deny some properties, but you're not denying that comm tower. So actually, I think that Javier is quite a good pick, probably better than Von Bolt in my opinion, just by virtue of having that guaranteed comm tower essentially, and then also having that nice defensive bonus versus those artillery, which actually come into play quite a bit on this map, and we'll go into that in a second. I basically took a glance at this map and was like, Stolly, let's go Hawk, baby. Artillery looks pretty good here, but you know what? I'll Blackstorm it up. Let's roll. So that was my thought process, and then Evocoti chose Javier. Evocoti, by the way, 1400 player, plays all game modes, even the high funds that we don't really like to talk about very much. Strong all-around player. When I hear Evocoti, I don't think he's Chinese. I think he's Italian, just using my strong, cultured self when it comes to Italian. I say Nochi without pronouncing the G, and sometimes I pick Luigi on Mario Kart, so I consider myself pretty well versed in Italian culture. So Evocoti seemed like a pretty strong player, very friendly. You start off the match saying, "Oh, I love your videos," and I was like, "Oh, I'm screwed again, aren't I?" So without further ado, let's get into the game itself, and then we can also examine the map in more detail. So the game starts off, I'm on the bottom, I'm the green earth, and to be honest, green and orange are 2 of my favorite colors. Green's my number 1, orange is my favorite too. I think orange is the most underrated color there is. It's low-key one of the coolest colors. So just little heads up, orange is an overlooked color. Yeah, so we go for the bases, pretty typical stuff. You basically want to go for this forward one before this backward one first, and you want to go for this forward property before this airport first, because you're not going to get like an airport rush. Oh, we're getting an early B-copter. It's not a big deal, so you don't really need to worry about that. Just go for the bases. Don't worry about a thing. Nothing too unusual. We'll go through our capping phase. Recons could be pretty viable, but I think they're more viable in the later game than they are in the early game. This is kind of not intuitive. Usually when you think recons, you're like early game, day 5, day 4, whatever. Recons pump out, stop some caps and whatnot. But I don't think recons are particularly strong on this map, so I was opting for the safe tank build. Super safe, what can go wrong? And then Mr. Evocoti goes for an early artillery. I'm like, okay, that's a little strange. Doesn't have the comm tower yet. It's not going to be a free comm tower if he doesn't have a tank to back it up. And I was like, oh, artillery. Got to take advantage of that. First thing I do, I build that tanky poo. I build it from the bottom. I mean, I could have built it from the center over here, but the reason I built from the bottom is because I wanted an infantry to go up here and then capture this property, or go up here and start trying to capture these 2 properties over here. The tank would have been better to be here, but then I would be taking away from my infantry's capture game. So you have to really balance what you're going to do with your infantry and tanks, and when it comes to building and this and that base. So I build tanky poo. Things are just going swell. Evocoti's doing quite well. I think he builds a tank this turn. So this is actually an opening. I come to realize this is actually an opening for the map, and I was like, oh shit, I'm so unprepared. I didn't prepare for this map. I just took a glance at it. I consulted my hashtag cool Aegis's becoming an Advanced Wars. I can't even remember the name. Becoming an Advanced Wars expert, choosing a CEO series. By the way, if you haven't checked that out, you got to call 1-800# to get your free pre-ordered form. I consulted that in the back of my brain. I was like, okay, Hawk looks pretty good since it's pretty stally, but Mr. Evocoti's got some ideas, and you will see very soon why he built that early artillery and didn't go for the standard tank opening. Okay, here's first mistake in my opinion. I built a tank over here because I saw him build a tank over here, and I was like, oh, he's gonna bring his tank over here and start threatening me. But that tank has no ideas of going over here. That tank is going southward, so my tank is completely out of position over there. I should have built a tank chain, probably from this bottom property, or dare I even say the middle property, now that I have an infantry ready to cap that shit. Yeah, I could have built a tank on either one of those properties. It would have been a better choice. I would have had a nice tank chain, and I could just be pumping out tanks the rest of the game from that property. Just tank, 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 tank. We can get 6 in a row. We can go for some world records on tank chains. Know what I'm saying? So, pretty standard stuff. And then I'm like, okay, things are looking pretty good. I'm going to try to capture these 2 properties. Then that freaking dumb little artillery comes in and locks the property. And that's when I realized why he chose Javier over Von Bolt. Because artillery have these nice little nooks and crannies in these mountains that are very hard to dislodge them without bringing in a copter that will be killed by an anti-air, by the way. And it is incredibly hard to dislodge them there. And it's just so frustrating. Those mountain ranges are perfect for an artillery. You can easily lock this property. You can easily lock this property. Just plopping a little artillery there. So that's when I realized, kind of went like a light bulb in my head. I was like, oh shit. That's why I chose Javier. This is going to be a shit show, isn't it? So I was kind of upset at that point, but I was like, oh, whatever. I'll get this property. Maybe I can stop him capping those properties. I have a random-ass tank over here doing nothing. Maybe in 2 turns I can do something with it. So I was a little taken off guard by that. I was like, what? Wasn't expecting that. Builds another tank. Now he's starting his own tank chain. See, that artillery build didn't really affect his tank chain. He's got just as many tanks as me. It's just as many tanks as me, and we're on the same turn right now. It's kind of strange. I mean... I do have first turn advantage, but he has the same amount of vehicles. Actually, more vehicles. So I was a little upset about that. I was like, hey, I can get this property. I'll be down 1 property. I got my Black Storm. It's not the biggest deal. Hawks used to being down some properties versus Von Bolt. Hawks used to being down properties versus Sasha and whatnot. But what you make your money from, your money maker as Hawk, as I would say, is that sweet, sweet Black Storm. That sweet. I don't even remember what the power one is called. Black something or other. But yeah, so I bring my tank over here. I'm like, okay, you're gonna take that property? F you, bruh. You're not getting that side property. I'm getting some compensation. Usually when you lose a property to an artillery, remember my front switching video, you see an artillery, you get the hell out of there. I'm like, I'm not even gonna get engaged over here. I'm going over to the side. Now, if I had this tank over here, and I brought it over, like, I don't know, near this HQ area, and I had 2 tanks, that'd be a different story. Because then I could use a tank and an artillery, or an infantry, to kill off, like, that infantry right there and attack the artillery. So that's kind of where the tank chain came into play, where it would have been a lot better to have 2 tanks in this area rather than 1. You know, I'm coming, like, a little slow over there. I was like, stupid. Why did I build a tank over there? That was dumb. But now I'm building my tank chain. Now it's like, okay, I'm starting my tank chain. He's starting his tank chain from the same property. This bottom property is a good tanky property. And the infantry can just cross over here, so you kind of want to reserve that one for infantry, I guess, sometimes. But there shouldn't be tanks coming out of there. I don't even know what I was thinking. Was not thinking. That's what I was. I was not thinking. So, captured all these properties, captured the comm tower. Everything's going great. And then, that pesky. See? No tank over here, right? I can't attack that freaking artillery. So, now I'm getting a little pissed. I'm like, okay, well, I deny 1, he denies 1, but now he's denying 2. How do I compensate for losing 2 properties? And I was like, should I deny this comm tower? Like, I thought this turn in my head for a long time. I was like, attack this comm tower, deny it, attack with 1 tank, bring in the other tank, bring in 2 more tanks this turn, and then try to flood him. But I opted not to, because I think that comm tower is inevitable. He could build a copter next turn. he will have 17,000. I mean, you would build an artillery, a copter, and 2 infantry. It wouldn't be the best build, or you could build an artillery, or you can build a tank, a copter, and 1 infantry and base skip, which is pretty sound, actually. It's not a terrible idea. So a copter there, I would just be flat off guard. So that's what ultimately why I decided not to go for the suicide infantry in there and block that comm tower. So I opted for the more passive role. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just try to get this property. This one's locked, that one's not. Let's see what I can do. Although he's gonna interrupt it with that stupid little infantry over there. So pretty bad start by me. Honestly, that artillery opening was just the best opening I've seen. I think it's probably just the book opening. I didn't really look at replays of this match before. I think it's just the book opening, and then my tank over there just kind of sealed the deal of just a bad start for me. The story of me going back to standard these days is I have really bad openings. I'm behind on all my games, or I was behind on all my games, and I have to claw back the rest of the game using my tactics that I've learned. It's always an uphill battle. I mean, I sometimes come back, but like, just starting at a disadvantage sucks. So, what does Mr. Evocoti do? He brings in this tank. Why not? Free real estate. Yeah, you can't attack that, and then you can bring down an infantry, or God forbid, a tank down there. And yeah, I can't attack that. That's just perfectly cordoned off. I can't even attack that infantry. I'm gonna get hurt. So those are just some free kills, free property denials, and I am not doing too great right now. I have 1 dead infantry and 1 injured unit, and he has 0 damage taken so far. 0. That's pretty impressive. Very clean opening. Very clean. Very, very, very clean. But I don't give up. I have my Blackstorm. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be behind like 2 properties. That's going to suck, but I got to have some counterplay. I'm like, okay, maybe I can like get this property up here and prevent that one. Like, what am I going to do here? So we're bringing my infantry, bringing my tank. I'm just starting to, yeah, I went over here. I'm like plopping on there. I'm like, Like I said, that stupid B-copter 1-turn reinforcement to these properties. So you think the comm tower is, you know, up for grabs. You think this property is up for grabs, but actually these are the properties for orange that are the most dangerous because it's not within reinforcement distance of an airport. It takes 2 to 3 turns for these tanks to get over here. So yeah, so I'm on the defensive now, and I'm like, I even opt for an artillery. I even knew he was building a copter this turn. I knew he was building a copter. I put my tank there as like, he's going to build a copter. F you, brother. I'm building an anti-air. Peace. But I built an artillery too. It wasn't because I had lack of funds. I had 1 extra K. I could have built another tank. However, I think I wanted to save up for my own copter next turn. I think that was the rationale behind it. I wanted to save up for a copter because these things do 20% less damage to Javier. So Javier is essentially Sturm versus my anti-air, or my artillery, goddammit. But that's before the tower, actually. It's 20% before the tower. It's 30% defense after the tower, so it's even better. He's the Kanbei Kanbu versus my my freaking artillery, so they're not that great. But I'm like, I need artillery just to like hold down the fort. Maybe I can base lock him there. I don't want him taking my properties. Like, it's one thing, I'm not getting those properties, right? I'm behind 1K. It sucks. It's stinky. But I'll get over it. But if he gets those properties, I basically lose. And yeah, he brings in, I was locking both of them down. I can't really attack that infantry because I'll get blasted by a freaking artillery. He doesn't get too greedy. Smart move here. Some people might get too greedy and start capping or with 2 tanks right here. And I could surround it with these tanks. I mean, I have 4 tanks versus 4 tanks. Actually, I have 5. This one could swing over and do some damage as well. So it's, he knows his limits. He would be overextending in that point too, because I would be 2 turns away from my base and it'd be 3 turns away from his. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See? Tanks move 6, right? So this is just barely out of 2 turns reinforcement, whereas for me, I don't even need to count. I know that shit's within 2 turns. So he wisely knows, this is overextending. This is not. I attack that tank, it is equidistant from my bases to that base, or to that area right there. That is why these are so contested properties, because they're just right on the cusp of overextending, but you don't if you have an artillery, because that artillery will be on your non-overextending line, or, you know, it'd be closer to your base is what I'm trying to say, bro. He builds his own artillery. He builds a mech. Mechs aren't too bad because they can just cross the forest here. I don't know if I agree with him for Javier. I think if I were him at this point, I probably would save up and just build an infantry, and then next turn maybe build a medium tank. Because how am I going to kill a medium tank if it's Javier, right? Let's see if it's a medium tank on this city right there. And it's got combat defense, plus 60 defense. So it's got 30% combat defense, essentially. Then it's got another 30% defense from the city, right? And my artillery attacks it. It's going to do like a scratch. It's going to do like 10 to 20% max. Then he pops a power and it's invincible. It gets a kill and it's invincible. That is ridiculous. Not even on a city. If his medium tank basically attacks anything that's not on a road, like if he attacks from a plane, you're not going to do any damage to it with the power. God forbid he gets a superpower, because then it's just like everything's invincible. That's just like Samurai Spirit Walmart edition or some shit. So I'm not trying to deal with that. I'm like, okay, I'm losing down here. My ego, whatever. I admit it, I'm losing. But I need to get this property. I need to swing this back in my advantage. Let us go. 4 infantry and a copter versus this little pesky mountaineer. I'm like, you're so freaking dead, bro. Bringing the tank up too. I'm like, F it, front switch. I see that thing. I'm out of here, bro. I get my lock on there. I'm like, okay, you're probably gonna get that property. I'm gonna have to sack an infantry 2 to stop that temporarily, but I think he's gonna get that eventually. So I'm like, I don't know if I stop it or not. I probably don't. Yeah, I build my infantry walls. I'm like, all right, yeah. So you won't get that property easily. I mean, I'll tickle it anyway. I'll do like 3 damage to an infantry, maybe 4 because he's freaking Javier. But oh yeah, I gotta put that infantry back there. Plug that wall. Okay, so I have a tank. So I'm like doing a half front switch where I'm like putting all my stuff in the middle. So I'm like, I'm a little dabbling right now. I can dabble wabble. I can attack that. Swing back down here. Ain't no thing. Then he comes in. It's like, F it, bro. I'm like, whoa. Did not see that coming. Did not see that coming. Did not see that coming. This is like, I went to bed or some shit. My last turn, I was like, let's try to be a pretty solid game. I woke up, I checked the game, I'm like, what the actual flup am I looking at? He's HQ capping. If he had a power and he HQ capped, I think it's basically a good game. I'll do like 1 damage to it. Then the next turn he just does his own thing, and then if I don't kill the infantry 100%, I lose. Which is not easy with 50 defense standard. That's before the powers. So he goes all in. And I'm like, well, that's unfortunate. Builds an anti-air. Saw my copter. Makes sense. He has his own copter, but you know, whatever. My anti-air is better positioned now because I was like, I know you're building that shit ahead of time. Big brain, brr. I'm nowhere near my Black Storm, so that's my bailout plan is the Black Storm, and I am nowhere near that. But the silver lining, I think he could have just like kept these things around here. I would have tried to interrupt that, but he basically gave me that property. I was like, cool. I'm down 2k. Soon to be 3k, but we could shift it around and only be down 1k. Yay! I'm only down 1k. So I was happy with that. I was not happy with this HQ cap, but I have some counterplay, luckily. Do some damage. Luckily he doesn't have power up early. Does a lot of damage over here. He also weakened up my infantry and whatnot. I'm like, I was so paranoid he's gonna capture this property. I was like, I gotta get my artillery in position right here. I gotta get some artillery walls. This is also within 1. If he attacks that artillery, I think I left it open. I'm not sure if I even covered it. Because I'm like, if you attack that artillery, I'm gonna have a tank punishing you from my base. So I do a little damage. I do 3 damage to that infantry. Tick a little bit. Luckily that was on a road, so I get 2 hits off. Get my artillery in position. Some people are like weird and they attack like HP 4, 3 HP tanks with a full HP infantry. That's just dumb. Don't weaken your infantry. They're not going to be able to threaten caps later on. I don't agree with going for luck rolls with infantry. I thought I'd almost build a mech here, but I wanted an extra tank to reinforce. So I got 2 artilleries. You attack 1. Yeah, so you can easily just break through, kill that infantry, and then attack that artillery. But I wasn't really scared of that. I was like, you can have the artillery. I shift my tank back down. Did my little mini front switch. Then I came back. He basically saw the front switch, the mini front switch, and then it's when he attacked. That's what you want to do. You want to punish a front switch. And there's no better way to punish a front switch than like threatening to win the game immediately. Maybe HQ cap was a little ambitious, but maybe you could just attack normally. So I was a little concerned by that. And he's going to have a lot of counterplay. First, his copter comes in. I mean, I'm going to kill that copter. It's within range of my artillery, right? But he's going to get his power, and it's going to be hard to break through a Javier with power. Attacks my artillery. Okay. Comes in with his tank. 2-hit KO, attack with the other tank, and you can bust through and get some more hits off. Then he brings in the tower shield. I get a little worried. I'm like, is he going to join cap that freaking HQ thing? It's going to have, oh my god, what, like 60 defense for that, and it's going to be impenetrable for artillery, so only anti-air and only infantry and tanks are going to be able to damage that stupid infantry. I was really worried about the HQ cap. And he brings in his infantry. He doesn't do a full HQ combination, which I was a little shocked by. It's kind of a half-assed run right there. I probably would have freaking, brought the whole thing in. But he doesn't. He just kills off a bunch of my free infantry. Sad, but, true. He has the unit advantage now. Has the income advantage now. Has the value advantage now. Has all the advantages you could ever want. And his infantry are basically not combat. Yeah, they are basically combat infantry for a turn. Everything is a combat thing, except they take even less than a indirects. And he builds a recon. Smart buy. I think this was one of his smartest buys of the game. Recon, late game, basically shuts down this completely. I would have to designate a tank or even God forbid, a battle copter to stop a recon from going beep beep and really harassing me. So I was like, oh boy, this is looking really dire. I'm getting near like halfway to like a black storm or whatever the first one's called. Look at that. That did 2 damage. It allowed me to get a double hit KO right there. Let's not lie, but yeah, and then I can't even attack that copter. That's the sad thing. I couldn't even attack that copter. Imagine this was a full HP thing. I would have to designate so much to kill that stupid infantry. So I bust through a little bit. I'm doing a little bit of damage. I'm doing 5 damage to an artillery. One thing you have to be aware of if you're facing a Hawk, though, he needs to kill off my units. Because if I use a superpower, even if I use the power, I'm going to get, 1 to 2 HP back. So you kind of like mini Andy in that sense. You want to finish off units. Hawk, you can't afford to let his units be living. So imagine if that was a full HP infantry. It'd probably be down to like 6 right now, right? Just from having more defense. And then you just bring it to 1, and then you put 1 more in there, and you do a final push, and you could probably even win, maybe. Maybe that's a little ambitious, but he's all in now. He's overextended. There's no question. He's overextended. I am closer to my base right now. I'm behind in everything. Yeah, it's his turn, and he's ahead in units before he even attacks. That's a bad sign. That means he's ahead just in every category. Ahead in unit count, ahead in everything. And then he just gives up on the cap, and it's like, okay, that was kind of a waste of time, huh? And, but he comes in. Guaranteed. No, not a guaranteed 2-hit KO. I thought it was. Was that not a full HP infantry? Huh. For some reason, I thought that'd be a guaranteed 2-hit KO. I guess I was wrong. But he brings in some units. Doesn't cap that property. Kind of gave up on that property. I think he's happy with the 1k income lead. Luckily, I was able to get that property. I'd be behind 3k if I didn't. But now he's capping this property over here. And I'm like, oh my god. I was trying to deny that property in the corner over there, and this is what it's come to. He's like over here within like a turn and a half of my own bases. He's really pushing hard. He's going for an all-in, basically. The sad thing is it's working. You usually go for an all-in this early, you get really punished badly, and you can lose, but it's working for him, sadly. His copter comes in with impunity, basically. Sacks itself to kill my copter, because I'm going to kill it with my anti-air. Luckily, if he had 1 more tank there and attacked that anti-air, it'd probably be a good game. Not gonna lie right there. If he killed that anti-air, at least severely weakened it, and I would not be able to kill his copter, it would probably be a good game. So thankfully, I'm alive. But that recon's up there. I have no response to it. I probably retreat this turn when it gets to my turn. That recon beeping up there. Evocoti. Beep. Evocoti's Maserati or Bugatti or something. Trying to take my property, trying to get on top of me, to get my property, but I'm not allowing that, no. Not on my watch. I kill off that copter, come in, kill off a few thingies. I'm getting close to my Black Storm. I'm basically like, I need to get my Black Storm this turn, because he's going to get his power next turn, right? I need to make everything weak before he gets that power. So I withdraw. Bring my infantry back from his Bugatti, his Maserati, because he's really going for these properties. He wants to flip them like it's Monopoly, some might even say. So you gotta watch out for that. Then I get the Black Storm, and I'm like, yeah, 7k, not a bad. Let's do a little replay. 58,000, 78,000 essentially. 78,000. ahead, baby. We are ahead in unit value for the first time this game, pretty much. Behind in unit count, whatever. Ahead in unit value, baby. And this copter that everyone thought was dead. Oh, I never thought it was dead. 3 HP. No big deal. Coming in hot. So, felt pretty good about this turn. I was like, I am not completely dead yet. I have a sliver of hope. And I was able to deny that property too, because that would be a pain in the ass to lose that as well. But then he brings in another tower shield. At this point though, I have more healthy units. It's closer to my base. I think he should back off. I think he should save up his income advantage and back off. Let's see what he does. Brings in his recon. Beep beep. Does his thing. I'm like, alright, you stupid little Maserati. I'll punish you next time. You've been naughty, you Maserati Bugatti. Trying to get my properties and topping me and talking about philosophy. See, I don't know where I'm going with this. But he comes in. He's not giving up. Basically, he's not backing off completely. He's just on the cusp of overextending. He is overextended, but I would have backed up 2 to 3 spaces just to make it equidistant. Because he has the property advantage. I just used my Black Storm. That's basically going to be like there's ebbs and flows of the game. That's my freaking top right there. And now I'm going to go down to my trough, so he might as well, you know, punish me while I'm at my lowest, not when I'm at my highest, which is right now. But he's going in for it. He's really aggressive. And he lost some income right here. Right now, I was like, I need to continue make him get tanks. Because the second he builds a medium tank, I'm just 100% screwed. So I was just hoping that he would just buy tanks and whatnot. He builds another artillery. He builds so many artillery. He's got 3 artillery at this point. Remember that one I thought it was dead earlier? No, it's still alive. They're not dying either. So that's kind of frustrating. I bring in... These infantry are basically free kills, though. See, he kind of did a half, you know, retreat. And the thing he did wrong was he didn't attack over here. Or he planned this first, and then he decided to retreat. He should have retreated first, and then, you know, afterward, okay, maybe I should retreat over here as well. They were kind of discoordinated in terms of what his units were doing. He did half of his turn one time and did half his turn at another time. Luckily, I get it down. See, he only needed 2 to capture that property. Luckily, that 3 HP freaking copter, everyone forgot about. Oh, I don't forget. Black Storm doesn't forget. Heals up. I'm still in it. I'm getting some nice free hits off. Feeling pretty decent. Feeling good, feeling great. I think I actually might have a chance at this game after all. That was a bad engagement. Oh my god, that did nothing. He has his power up, and then he's going to have a punishing tank attack. And he's still got that mech. Even though it's 8 HP, it's still a mech. So, build another copter, because I just weakened this, and I was feeling cocky, I guess. I was like, build another copter. Oh, I think I know why I build a copter. I was like, if I don't build a copter, he's going to build a medium tank. I think the boogeyman for this whole match was like, he builds a medium tank, I'm gonna resign. Like, I have no way of killing that. First off, I don't have enough money to buy my own mega tank. Second off, my mega tank will lose to his mega tank, and my artillery won't do jack shit to it. So, only thing that will be able to damage that medium tank, I keep saying mega tank, medium tank would be copters and medium tanks. So I'm hoping he doesn't get it. I built my own mech. Like I said, I'm leaving these artillery in the open. I'm like, they have decent defense, but they're covered by tanks and whatnot. I'm letting my artillery go up to dry. A lot of people like to keep their artillery defended. I throw them out on the front lines. I dare people to attack them. There's a freaking, like, you know, you can easily get to this thing with some of his units. I'm like, I don't even care at this point. Attack my artillery. I don't even care anymore. You get some nice hits off. That stupid Maserati Bugatti doing the naughty. Doing some karate. And then, yeah, he's still overextending, but he's kind of dominating while he's doing it, so it's not terrible. He's getting some good value out of it. Like, we're kind of even on unit value right now, and he's ahead on unit count, so we're pretty even. I was pretty happy with myself, how things have gone so far, how terrible they were at the beginning, clawing my way back into the game, clawing myself back. Meow, clawing myself back into the game. It's only day 14. It's early. And we've already had a Black Storm and 2, 3 Javier power, so there's a lot of fighting going on early. And now he's capping this property. And I can interrupt it, but is it worth it? We'll see. And then, yeah, so he went all out, because this thing only needed 1 HP to heal, but, like, there's no chance. He has no power up this time. That beautiful copter coming in clutch. I love that 3 HP copter. Hey, might even get to 5 HP by the next time I get, or 4 HP the next time I use my superpower or my power. So never forget. I bring in this copter over here, kind of random, but I just didn't want to allow that recon to just have free reign over there. It's been doing a really good job, forcing me to go bring a copter when it should be fighting over here attacking these tanks, but I couldn't really do that. So that copter forced to deal with that really annoying recon, and then he's in position to recapture this property. So that's not great. So I'm coming in, getting some kills. I don't think I forced too many things. I don't think I even attacked that infantry. I do. Okay, well I do attack that infantry. I kill off the artillery. I have this artillery right there. I'm ahead on unit count. I'm ahead on unit value. Soon to be behind on. Alright, I'm already behind on income. But it's not going as bad as it was at the beginning. I'm doing a little bit better now, but still, he's definitely ahead. There's no question about it. He just needs to basically build a medium tank and hone his advantage. Gets a free hit off because I can't attack with the copter. This anti-air is in good position. He's got 2 anti-airs now, so I'm not going to really be building any more copters, I wouldn't think, at this point, unless he kills 1 or 2 of them off. When your opponent has 2 anti-air and you have, like, 1 or 0 copters, or this one's basically dead, you basically don't want to build anymore. Just make them get impatient with their anti-air, attack some infantry, you kill it, then you build your B-copter, then you build your bomber, or what have you. So he's retreating. He realizes he's going to get a base lock, so now it's like, shit, I wanted him to keep overextending over here so I could get more powers and like beat him up and then like take back the property eventually, but now he's getting wise to it. He's like, the only reason Deegis is alive at this point is because I kept overextending and kept him in the game. Even though I have stronger units, more income, better artillery shits going on. So, builds a mech. Like I said, I was like, why is he not building a medium tank? Like, why is he not building a medium tank? Has he not been watching the Deegis videos on 1-800 hashtag? Will tell you when you see 3 tanks in the same area. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's many more than 3. A medium tank would be great there. A medium tank wouldn't die there. A medium tank is so good. Should have watched that. 3 easy payments of $0 and you can watch it yourself. So I was happy with that. Kind of shocked, but I was happy. And he's going to get that property. There's no way I can interrupt that without suiciding my copter. I bring my copter down. Take my fate. I'm like, okay, maybe I need to get this property over here. It's like, okay, I need compensation. What am I going to do? Take this property? Take this property? Like, I need compensation. I can't be behind 3k for very long. In one of my earlier videos, I say being down like 3k is like fighting underwater. Like, you can hold up for a few 30 seconds or so, then you're like, start to lose consciousness, and you're like, it just gets to be too much, and then you just die. So I build my own medium tank. I was scared building this medium tank, because then I felt like he didn't know he could build a medium tank. Like, he didn't know of its existence. Until I build my own medium tank, it's like, oh yeah, I can build a medium tank. So I was like really risky. I was like, if I build one, is he gonna build one? Please don't build a medium tank. Please don't. I start to coalesce my forces over here. I'm like, I need to get one of these properties. Like, he's gonna get that property. Maybe I can try this one, but I have no healthy infantry in the way. Like, this is gonna take like 3 turns to get a 1, 2, yeah, to even start cap. 4 turns to cap, and then you can build a cop. Like, I'm not getting that property. I have to get compensation in these 2 right here. Maybe this one over here, but not really looking like it up here with all the strong units. So I'm just healing up my stuff. Basically, I did the numbers. So he's ahead 3k, right? 19,000 income, 16,000 income. I'm behind 3k. However, Black Storm does 20% damage to your units. So 20% of roughly 20,000 is 4,000, right? So a Black Storm will actually compensate for this. Black Storm will do 4,000 damage, approximately, to his units and heal me up a bit. So at a point where his income is higher than 4,000, I would probably resign. If he got 1 more property, I would resign, and that would be that. Because there is no coming back from that, even with a Black Storm. However, a Black Storm keeps me in the game just by virtue of having that money shift. So even though I'm behind 3k, I'm like, I need to get some properties within the next like 2-3 turns. If I have no compensation, I don't know what I'm going to do. Doesn't build a medium tank. I don't think he had enough money, actually. Let me check. Yeah, he's healing stuff up. Whew. Doesn't build a medium tank. I was like, oh my god. Thank god. I mean, if I were him, maybe I would have like joined units and built a medium tank. But and he allows this thing. He's messing with me. He's allowing me to cap that thing. No artillery locking it down. He's like, yeah, go for it. It's free real estate. Free real estate. Then you see the power over here and like, nothing is free. There is no free lunch. So I don't know if I fell for it and tried capping. I fell for install. Oh my god. That's a max infantry right there. But I build... Oh yeah, I think this turn's gonna be brutal against me. Yeah, this is... I was feeling decent. I forgot that the artillery basically do 0 to his artillery, or his units when he has a power up. I have a medium tank. I'm like, hey, I got a medium tank. If something attacks there, you know, I'll have some counterplay, right? I see I build 1 tank here instead of building an artillery. I'm saving up a bit. I have 5,000. I maybe I'll build another medium tank next turn. Or I have a lot of repairs as well. A lot of my units are injured. I have 8 HP, 6 HP, what have you. Build my copter over here just as a blocker. And, I mean, he can bring in his artillery, or his anti over here to kill it, but it's like a whole investment just to do that. And it'll be in my artillery range. But, yeah, I'm all in over here. He's a little more dispersed, which I'm trying to use to my advantage. I have all of my things in a death ball, so I figure now's the time to capture, even though it's a little shaky. He's got his power up. I figured, yeah, you know, maybe the time to strike is now. Brings in his infantry, suicides it. I think that gave him the power. Maybe he didn't have it before. Oh, he barely doesn't have it. He needs 200 basically of damage to get that power. 200 damage. That recon is not dead yet. That recon is so annoying. It's a great buy. Don't get me wrong. That Bugatti Maserati Bugatti is really annoying. But I hate it. Does he? I don't think he... Or I guess he didn't attack this turn. For some reason, I thought he attacked me this turn. Oh. Now I'm getting greedy. I'm not even anywhere near a Black Storm, and he's got a power, and I'm getting greedy. I'm like, YOLO, I'm down 3k, I gotta do something. So I bring my medium tank, and I'm like, you're not messing with my medium tank, right, bro? Like, my medium tank's gonna block this shit. Bring in my artillery. This is a pretty solid wall, I thought. I bring in this copter. It's still blocker. It's gonna die to this artillery, or this anti-air, rather. But I figured I'd waste 1 turn where the artillery or the anti-air could not attack my infantry in like 1 shot, or like bring it down to 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 HP. So I have all this stuff cooked up. I think I might bring my artillery down here. That would probably be good defense. Although there's ideas where you kill off this, so you kill off the copter first, then you bring a tank here, you bring a tank there, then you bring a tank there on top of the city, kill that tank with 2 hits, then you attack the artillery. I think it's a 1-shot with Javier power. So it's dubious. I think using the move planner, I think there's a reason why I didn't bring this artillery over there. I think there's some ways you can really punish it. So I opted not to bring it over. There's some chains. Like this tank, let's not forget over here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks that are in range of attacking. 2 to kill that tank. Break through, kill that artillery, then want to attack this tank over here. My artillery doesn't going to do damage to him, so he doesn't even need to be concerned about it. He can probably do a lot of damage just bringing this tank, another tank onto the city and attacking this mech. His tank will pretty much be invincible with 60 defense on his city. So he's got a lot of ideas over there. And I stopped capping this property because he locked it. So I'm still behind 6k with no ideas. And now he's capturing this property. At this point, I think this is another point I was like, I'm just going to resign. I was kind of pissed. Not going to lie. I was back in Standard for the first time in a long time. And I was like, what am I doing? They've gotten too good. Standard ladder has gotten too good. And I believe it is definitely a guarantee to get. He doesn't even need to bring a tank in first. So, good thing I didn't have an artillery over there. He's still going to punish me really badly, though. Boom. Boom. Brings it in. 1 shot. Oh, got lucky there, maybe? Maybe it's a roll. I'll throw it up there on the post-production. But he's doing a lot of damage. Luckily, he doesn't have a medium tank. I would have attacked that. Or no, I guess he couldn't do it. But he's going all in now. He's going to shift all of his artillery. 4 artillery, mind you. 4 artillery. So annoying. And now, like, he's basically like, all right, you can definitely attack one with your medium tank. You can probably do some damage. But look at these other freaking artillery that will blast you. Once you have an artillery ball, you can get more ballsy with it. Once you have a ball, you can get ballsy. Because then you can attack one, but then there's 3 others that are going to attack you. You know what I mean? It's a really big deterrent. It's just like, they just cover each other and they're just nasty and gross. And I hate dealing with artillery balls. I mean, I like making them, but... And now, like, I can try to interrupt this cap, but he's got a power. I'll probably do, like, 3 damage and take, like, 6 damage back. He's got that freaking Maserati up there, Bugatti. But, you know what? I got tank. I got infantry. You know, war is my symphony. You gotta take a hint from me sometimes. I have a friend named Tiffany. So I don't know where this is coming from, but anyway, I do interrupt that cap. I don't even do 3 damage. I do 2 damage and I take 5 back. That's how bad. That's with Hawk's 10% minded. I'm like, maybe I can get off a super this turn, but that would involve suiciding all my units. So my copter comes in, does a paltry 4 damage to this tank on a road. On a road! Already damaged, and it does 1 damage back. Luckily, I kill it off. I attack this. It seemed like... Oh, God, it does 1 damage back to me. I bring my medium tank over here just to get a free hit out of the artillery range. Basically, I vow not to fight in the artillery area. And I try to, you know, heal up this artillery. I'm like, maybe a Black Storm's coming next turn so I can get up to 5 HP. And it won't be completely useless. I'm just, you know, holding together all my forces that I can. And now I'm like shifting towards the bottom. Even this middle is kind of dubious over here. Within 1 turn of my base, grant you. I'm not even comfortable fighting within 1 turn of my base. I'm like, okay. Please overextend and like maybe die, please. Like, I have some like overlap over here and probably build a mech this turn. And then, yep, build a mech covering both of these over there. So a little bit of a deterrent. This tank over here covering both of these as well. So he has to go within 1 turn of my base to attack me, essentially. Or come down here. But, you know, I got artillery, I got tanks, and I've got a Black Storm. So I was, like, baiting him to attack me. And I haven't looked at the amount of money recently, but he's ahead after my turn, basically, which kind of sucks. Actually, no, I'm slightly ahead now. By 200 points. Or 300, rather. Oh my god, he's ahead by 300 gold. And it's not even his turn yet, so he's clearly ahead. But I have a Black Storm coming. I'm behind by 3k every turn. Soon to be 4k, or 5k, excuse me. I'm gonna have 15k income to 20k. That's probably resignable. So that's why I brought my tank over here. I was like, I don't even care if these guys are like not in the main fight. I can't allow that. No freaking way. Yeah, then he comes in. Doesn't have a tower power this time though, thankfully. But he comes in. He's really overextending, which is good and bad. I mean, I'm getting punished, but at the same time, I'm going to have a Black Storm. And he's attacking infantry, which is kind of a waste of his... and he doesn't actually cap here. He actually attacks with his infantry rather than attacking with this one over here or his recon. So that kind of caught me off guard. I would have, like, capped and then, like, I don't know, figured something out. But I guess he was really scared of those tanks. Starting to cap. And I got all those pesky artillery. Yeah, look at them. Look at this little half moon, this crescent right here. All aimed at that pesky, poor little medium tank. Will I be able to punish this? That is the question, because I'm behind by 20k. I have a Black Storm. This is probably my last Black Storm that's actually going to be effective. My first one was pretty good, but as the game goes on, you're going to get less and less of your powers, naturally. And then the day-to-day is just going to get worse and worse and worse, because Javier is just going to have better units the whole game. My Black Storms are going to become infrequent. I can't count on them making up for this discrepancy in income, so I need to have a really good Black Storm. Luckily, it's looking pretty good right here. I might have to do a few attacks first before I do my Black Storm, but I saw some openings that I was pretty excited about. First off, I wanted to one-shot this infantry or this infantry on there with like this anti-air, and then attack this mech here, maybe kill it if it has 8 HP, or attack this this artillery over here. I wanted to kill the infantry, attack the anti-air, the artillery. If it's at 8 HP, I believe it is a one-hit KO. It's a roll, so I'd have to be lucky, kill off one, and then I could start doing artillery chains. Like kill one artillery, move on to the next artillery, just keep attacking, just keep attacking, just keep attacking. So that was the plan. And as you can see, he's ahead by 30,000. And I only have 13k in the banky poo. And I've got a medium tank. He still doesn't have a medium. Why is he building 3 tanks? Why has he not built 1 medium tank? I was just dumbfounded. It's like, why hasn't he bought a medium? Does he know how strong they are? Like, I have so many tanks right. I've got like 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't even count them. There's so many of them. Why is he building more tanks? Like, I understand maybe to put some pressure over here, but like, even if you give up with this capture, you're ahead by 3k. Like, don't get super greedy. Like, imagine a medium tank like just sitting right here. Imagine like 2 of these tanks, the 9 and the 4 are gone. Put a medium tank there. It's a good game. What am I gonna do? there's nothing I can do. But luckily, I have my own medium tank. I have to attack first. I don't have charge yet. See, I have to do some weird attacks. That's just unfavorable to me. But I'm like, you know what? I gotta do it. Bringing my tanky over here. Really getting close to the Black Storm. Really getting close. Kapow. Really getting close to get some attacks off. Right in there. So close. I can taste it. I attack with my... So I don't go for the artillery killing this one off. Instead, I go opt to kill the one shot on the city, right? Get some infantry attacks. And I got it. No, I didn't get it. Shit, I have 300 left. I sack my mech. I'm like, I don't even know anymore. But then I get it. Alright, let's see how much damage we do. We start off at 10k, basically. Or 100k to 134. Black Storm, baby! Yeah! Okay, so we're about even now. Which is kind of pathetic, because usually when you expect to use Black Storm, you think you're going to get ahead. I am slightly ahead, but it's kind of pathetic. He's ahead on unit count. He's still ahead on, like, everything. So I was like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. But let's see what I can do. I use my anti-air over here. I want to kill that freaking mech. That mech is so annoying. Okay, I can't kill it off. So the first thing I do, I need to kill these artillery, right? Those are the main threats. First, I kill off that artillery with the medium tank. So I have to kill these off because they're going to kill my medium tank otherwise, right? Then I attack this tank over on the HQ. I need to kill off this tank with a 6 HP tank, then bring another tank on top, and then kill the artillery. Or the anti-air. So that's exactly what I do. I had this in the move planner, by the way. Oh, I guess I didn't kill the artillery. Oh, I don't even have any copters. So yeah, I think I ignored that anti-air. There's no reason to attack the anti-air. Some people, you know, it's 8k instead of 7k. Maybe they attack anti-air instead of tanks. I get it, but when you don't have any copters, focus on the tanks. Those are the things that actually can punish you. So, but now, I need to kill this artillery off in one shot. It is a roll, but I need to kill off that and then attack that other artillery. So I go in. Yes, I got so lucky there. I think it was like a 50-50 roll. So I was so happy. I was like, yes, and I got lucky there so I can wrap another tank around. So imagine if I didn't kill this artillery. Gets down to 1 HP. That one right there, punishing my tanks. I was so lucky. I was so lucky. So this one comes in, brings it down to 2. I mean, it's not going to kill it. This 5 HP tank. Oh, actually, it might kill it. Yes! Oh, it felt so good. This little cop. That thing had 1 HP. That's why I love Hawk. These little units that you thought were dead, the 3 HP copter, single-handedly basically stopped this cap over here. Then this freaking almost dead tank, this freaking almost dead artillery over here. Everything was almost dead, but Hawk, coming hashtag through. I am ahead on unit counts. I am ahead by 40,000 on unit value now. I was like, holy shit, this is going well. I need to have, like, what do I don't know what I'm going to do next, but that went well. I'm not dead. Then he has the tower shield, and I was like, what? This part shocked me. I was like, I would retreat. So, see, I wrapped around here, so these things are, like, dead meat. This tank and this artillery, that's another reason I didn't kill the anti-air in the tank. I was like, those things are dead meat. Like, he can kill this artillery, I don't even give a shit. But I'm going to murder that thing. And its family. And its friends. And his high school gym teacher for even daring attack me. That copter gets a free hit off. He doesn't retreat. Evocoti and his Maserati does not back off. He's really cocky with the Javier. Which is, to be honest, it's done him well so far. But yeah, he's just going in the thick of it. Just not really backing off. But like, I think he should have retreated. I mean, I know I had a great engagement, right? But I'm not getting a Black Storm for another like 7, 8, 10 turns maybe, because it's going to take forever to get a Black Storm next turn. We'll see how much it costs to get it. In terms of like unit damage and whatnot. Still no medium tank. It's gonna take me 113,000 charge to actually get a Black Storm. It's gonna take me 10 turns to get it. If he just backs off and basks in that 3,000 income advantage, look, like I can't get that property. I can't get that property. If he just like artillery locks this like he did earlier, like he's fine. But he got a little cocky. He got a little cocky. He wanted to stay in the fight in the middle over there. And I'm able to punish it, thankfully. It's only 2 turns away from my base. 2 turns away from these 2 bases right there. My mech's even in range. My mech can even get some damage off. He's 3 turns away from his. So, I'm able to punish that, thankfully. Boom. Tank comes in. Oh, see, that tower shield. Imagine that was a medium tank. How much do you think that would do? That'd probably do like 2 or 3 damage max. And I'd probably get like 5, 6 damage back. Like, a medium tank would be so indestructible, and he still hasn't built one. He still hasn't built a medium tank. I'm like, what? Why not? So I was so happy he didn't build one, but I was also like, what? Okay, so I started attacking these anti-air because I'm like, whatever, they're still there. I don't have any copters yet. Actually, I think I built a copter this turn because I killed off his anti-air and he left them exposed. Do I? Yeah. See, that's the thing. You don't really have to care about copters until they get reckless with their anti-air. Then you can build a copter. Don't force it. Let them be reckless. Sun Tzu shit, you know? Let them be reckless with their stuff. So... And then he brings in his tank over here. I think he starts to retreat this turn. Brings in his copter. That is in with range of my anti-air, though. So he's still attacking really close to my lines. Brings his tanks back. Still attacking. That's, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't want to get any farther than this property right here. And he's just crossed the line into overextension. That's a dead tank. I have a medium, but what is gonna stop this medium tank? An 8 HP copter? A 3 HP artillery? Like, no. That's a free kill. And he doesn't have a medium tank. He can't afford one this turn unless he double base skips. So I was like, alright. So he's still building his normal stuff. Really aggressive. Attacking near my HQ. I have so many more units. The balls on this man. I'm like, alright, well, I'm ahead. For the first time in a long time, I'm ahead after his turn on unit value. And pretty ahead on the unit count. But I mean, it's still that glaring 3,000 is still there, granted. But I'm like, okay, now I need to get over here. I want to get this anti-air over here. And then when he tries to stop with a copter, I will stop him. That was my next goal. I'm going to get this property or this property. And then I'll have an anti-air in position. Maybe even airport lock him or block him from at least using it. So I get some free kills off. He's getting near a tower shield, sort of. Not really. My copter is going to have some nice free reign. He just let those 2 anti just sit around and get killed by mechs and stuff. Like, they were just killing infantry. They weren't doing much. Now I'm putting pressure over here. I'm like, F it, man. Kill his Maserati. Kill his Bugatti. My infantries are going on top of the properties. Like, it's Monopoly. And, yeah, free kill on that copter. So what is even... Oh my god. Look at this beautiful, gorgeous anti-air. Low on fuel. That's nice. 15. Low on ammo and fuel. Oh my god, that's a Best Buy gift card if I have ever seen one. Oh my goodness. If anyone wants to see how nice that was, you can go into replay and see how nice it was. But that was... I love that anti-air. I think I only built one the entire game. I think that's the only... And it's done so many things. He built like 2 or 3. And look how much they're doing to my copters, right? Like, treat your anti-air how you would like to be treated. Hopefully you don't treat yourself like shit. Because then you're going to lose. So, treat your anti-air. See, I love these weakened units. I love this shit. Hawk, they're not dead. Actually, it's coming in pretty quicker than I thought. I thought it'd take like 10 turns, but it's actually coming quicker. I start capping. This is like a bait cap. This is like, okay, you're going to have to devote resources to stop that cap. I know I'm not going to actually get that. I'll get the hell out of here. But you know, building my tanks, I can't build medium tanks. So if you, like I said, build a medium tank, I can't even afford keeping up with them. But now, I have double the unit value. I have 10, 12 more units than he does. I mean, granted, half of them are like pieces of shit, you know, 1 HP tanks and 3 HP artilleries, but like, still. Evocoti comes in, kills off, gets that nice hit off on the tank. I need, you know, it was a little reckless, I admit, but I do have tank backup, I do have copter backup. This copter is going to get some damage done, and this artillery, or this anti-air is not going to do very much. Actually, it might. Let's see if he blocks my tank, because then I could kill it off with my tank, and then, oh, you beautiful, sweet artillery. Take a moment of silence to this beautiful, sweet artillery. Did so much for me during the whole match. Alright, Pizzle. Rest in pepperonis. And then there's... So mine was buried in a casket. There was a huge funeral services. They fired off the trumpets or the 5-shot salute or whatever the hell. A true memorial service. They just dumped his body in a freaking dumpster. That artillery didn't live a nice life. That was a gambling, drunk artillery. Thrown in a dumpster, his carcass. The rats got to it. The rats had a feast on that anti-air's carcass. Just throwing it out there. And I don't know what the hell that was. I think he was not right in the head, wanted to assisted suicide or some shit. Oh, okay. Okay, so I get it, right? He wanted to get the KO, but there's nothing to really follow. If he had like another tank to kill that tank on the road or something, maybe that would make more sense. But I was like, I'm getting near double his unit count. Oh, I guess that was his death throw. Evocoti. Despite the Maserati, despite the Bugatti, despite the Monopoly properties, the infantry symphonies, despite all that, despite the artilleries and Hillaries, I am able to survive. And one of the worst openings I've ever had on a map. Lesson learned: look at replays before you play a map. Understand what there is. I had no idea that this spot is so damn key for an artillery. It will basically ruin your caps over on this strong. These are the most contested properties, not the ones in the corner. They can be reinforced by airports. These two are the most contested properties. When you play Aronia or Middle Earth or whatever the hell, now you know. These comm towers are not contested at all either, but my god, artillery are good on this map. And honestly, I think Hawk is still a good pick. I think if I played better and I had tank chain to punish the artillery earlier, it would have been a lot easier. But yeah, I built a stupid tank over there. Just sometimes you take priority letting your infantry cap, but sometimes you need to have your tanks in position more than just having random shit. I should never have built a tank in that property. Only built tanks from these two over here. So that was a big mistake. You want tank chains. That's why you want tank chains, so you can actually have presence. And I miscalculated that. I thought this would be a property that was contested. I mean, I delayed it for like 2 or 3 more turns than my own. And I was temporarily able to hold on to this, but that's within 2 turns of this property over here. And probably like 3 turns of this one over here. So this is not really contested either. He tried to capture this one. I mean, we both tried to capture these 2 properties, and he almost got this one, and I almost got this one. So maybe it is a little contested. But, my god. Yeah, Javier is great here. I think he's probably better than Von Bolt personally, just because of the artillery. But yeah, look at the replays and stuff before you actually go on the map. I almost got completely beaten and spanked just by virtue of having no idea what the hell I was getting into on this map. But luckily I was able to claw back. Blackstorm was great. Hawk is great. It wasn't as stally as I had hoped. I was hoping to stall out the game, but you can't really stall out the game very much when actually... If he stalled out the game, he probably just would have won, because he had 3k advantage. You just sit back here, block these 2 properties, proliferate 10 artillery. I don't even care how many. Doesn't matter. I have a Black Storm, and it's going to do some damage, but it's not enough to compensate. I think with his tower powers and whatever, I don't even tower shield, whatever the hell it's called, he would have been fine. So I was thankful that he overextended, not once, but twice. I think he kept me alive by that HQ cap there, by the way. I think that actually kept me going a little earlier. I think it was a little ballsy. And then he didn't even join cap it to even take it seriously. He took it seriously at the beginning, but then kind of half-assed it afterward. So I think his overextension was basically his downfall. If he didn't overextend, if he built a medium tank, actually if he did the same thing, but he built a medium tank, he probably would have beat me. He could have overextended. He could have done all the same mistakes he did. Wouldn't have mattered. Medium tank would have killed my medium tank, would have started blasting on my tanks. I'd have zero answer for it. He could literally put his medium tank in the middle of 2 or 3 of my artillery, and he uses a power and I can't damage it. It would be so indestructible. It would be ridiculous. So didn't build a medium tank. Even the last turn, he didn't even try building a medium tank. He has the perfect amount for a medium tank. He never even tried to build a medium tank, so I was like, oh my god. So... yeah, that was a nutty match. This is one of my first games back in the Global League Standard match, and I was happy to finally claw out a win. It's rough. Standard is not easy. You can't half-ass it as much as Fog. Fog, it can half-ass a little more, because your mistakes, they don't see your mistakes. They're like, oh, he knows what he's doing. Sometimes I don't. Yeah, but in standard, people will see your mistakes and they will exploit them, and you will be punished hard. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed the standard match, and I hope to see you guys next time. Peace out.